So as you guys know, the Game of the Year awards for 2024 came out a couple of days ago. It was a really big stream. I heard a lot of people tuned in to just see it, and for good reason. A lot of good games were announced in this Game of the Year. It was really just jammed-packed with a lot of good shit that came out, and I felt like this Game of the Year awards actually popped off a little bit because of just how many games were announced for 2025, and there were some really good games that I saw and I was like, that's pretty fucking cool, you know. One of them being the new fighting game that's going to come out later next year in 2025, which is going to be the new Virtua Fighter. Now, if I told you that I played Virtua Fighter, you probably wouldn't believe me, and you're right. Now, I have never touched a Virtua Fighter game in my life, and if I did, it was probably for like a very little time. Barely played that game, but I heard that game hasn't gotten like a new release since what, like 2006, 2007. So the fact that it's actually getting a brand new game and it's coming out next year in 2025, that is mind-boggling. Like, that's insane. I know a lot of people that are probably waiting for a new Virtua Fighter game just because of, I guess, it's iconic, you know. It's a really iconic game, and it's a really good fighting game, but just a lot of people haven't seen it in a while, so that's pretty good. Other things that I was hyped for were the new Witcher that's coming out. Witcher 4 seems good. There's gonna be like a shit ton of updates. There was Borderlands 4 as well. Don't really know about Borderlands 4, but just want to put that out there. A lot of people were kind of talking about the what was it, the Vault Hunters, and how they don't really look that interesting at all, which to an extent kind of agree. They're kind of just bland. Hopefully when the game releases, we'll be able to see how they look. We're getting a new Outer Worlds, the Outer Worlds 2. It's kind of like, it's like a futuristic Fallout. So yeah, I played the first one a little bit, but I never really like invested that much time into it. Hopefully with the new one I might be able to. Onimusha also got a brand new game. Just a lot of old games being brought to life and getting new releases, or just getting a new game all in general, or a remaster. But yeah, a lot of cool fucking titles. We got a new trailer for Splitgate as well. For the new Splitgate 2, we got a new trailer for that as well. So yeah, just a lot of cool games that are going to be released next year, and I'm really hyped for it. So all these games look excellent, like excellent choices for next year. And yeah, they brought back some old games, and now they're bringing them back to life, which is fucking cool. So with all that out of the way, I also kind of just want to talk about the Game of the Year. So the Game of the Year for 2024 was Astro Bot. Big round of applause to them. I know a lot of people that told me that that game is really fun and really good. So much deserved to Astro Bot. Congratulations. They made a really good platform, dude, and made it super fucking fun and enjoyable to the people that played it. I myself would have wanted a different choice, but oh well, I guess. I was really hoping the Game of the Year would be Black Myth Wukong, 100%, because that game looked amazing. That game really was astonishing to look at, and it was just fucking awesome. So I would have really enjoyed Black Myth to win. I would have really enjoyed them to win, but Astro Bot took it home, which is also a just awesome game. So really deserving of that title, really deserving of the Game of the Year award. A lot of people that were kind of pissed off that Black Myth didn't win, but you can't always win, you know. I think they won in other categories, or in one other category, but yeah, mainly Astro Bot won Game of the Year, and they were just taking home a shit ton of awards and all that. And also that other game, Metaphor was taking a ton of awards too. I saw them take like 2 awards. I was like, what? And then Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. I got so look, I kind of knew it wasn't gonna win, but it didn't even win 1 award, which was kind of sad. I was like sad for Elden Ring, because their DLC had to be probably one of the best DLCs a game has released in forever. I don't know, but that DLC was like another game release. It was a really big DLC, and I know they put a lot of time into it, and not only that, but it was just really good to look at. So I don't even know why they didn't win like an award for like the art style, because it was really just good to look at. But unfortunately they didn't win anything, but it's alright. So in the Game Awards, they actually did take some shots at Elden Ring for bringing a DLC and actually nominating it for Game of the Year. They had like this little snippet where they brought in the puppets from the Muppets, the 2 old guys, and they were making fun of it, and I laughed because it was pretty funny. I guess that was their way of saying we're not gonna make a Game of the Year, which was pretty funny, you know. It was actually a funny joke, and I got it right away that they're like, okay, yeah, they're not gonna win anything. But other than that, I'm just actually glad that Astro Bot, I guess, kind of won. But yeah, I feel like Black Myth Wukong was very close actually getting the Game of the Year. They were really close, dude, if not super really close, like by a fucking hair. They would have taken it, man. They would have taken it, but yeah, I guess Astro Bot had a ton of more fans, a lot of more people that like that game more. And you know, for a platformer, I'm actually kind of surprised that it actually won a little bit, but not very, because they actually made a really just fun game, you know. I heard it's really fun to just sit back and it's like a chill game to sit back and play. So I understand why it kind of won Game of the Year. It's Astro Bot, dude. Deal with it. So all in all, this year's Game Awards was actually a really fun Game Award to actually see and be a part of. A lot of good games were announced. The Game of the Year was given to a really fascinating game. The whole event was really good. I heard they had Snoop Dogg on and he was singing and dancing, and then they also had some crazy instrument guy. They also had some guy going really crazy on the instruments. This guy was just going crazy. I did see that part and I was like, whoa. Who is this guy, you know? This guy was going real fucking crazy on the instruments. He was like pulling out any fucking instrument from his other arsenal of instruments he had on him. He had like a whole weapon wheel of instruments ready at his command, just popping them out. Every time they popped them back on the camera, he just had a different instrument on him every single time. So that was pretty fun to look at as well. That guy was going crazy on the instruments. He pulled out like a trumpet, and he pulled out some sort of mini trumpet, then he had a flute on him, then he had, I don't know what else, dude, but he had other fucking instruments on him. He pulled out this giant one, this like stick looking one, looked like a rifle. I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was super cool to him for actually being able to play all those instruments and just being that fucking cool. But yeah, anyways guys, I just want to really talk about the Game of the Year awards, how cool it was to actually see all the new games that are coming out for next year and what to expect. Honestly, super fun, and I'm ready for next year and see what games come out next year and what can we expect. It's probably going to be some good ones, some not so good ones, some that are trying to take your money, and others that you will give up your money for. Leave a like and subscribe, of course, if you guys did enjoy the video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.